And welcome to Countryside Church Unitarian Universalist. We were thinking of waiting, and then we thought, no, let's start. Then people will come scurrying in. So I want to welcome you. I'm Hillary Krivchenya. I'm the minister here at Countryside. And I'd like to welcome you to this conference for the Chicago Area Unitarian Universalist Council. Welcome, and thank you for being willing to be inside on this beautiful day. Let us be called to worship. Remembering that to worship means to shape and be shaped by that which is of worth, let us turn our attention to those things. I call us to the courageous application of love. This morning we'll hear a panel of people who have been inspired by love to speak with us of their own experience. It's my hope that this morning acts of love have brought each of you here to learn how we might widen and deepen our application of love in our congregations and our movement as a whole. I call us to worship with the words of those far wiser than myself. These are the words of Angel Kyodo Williams and Lama Rod Owen from the book Radical Dharma. To inhabit radical as an ideal is to commit to going beyond one's familiar or even chosen terrain. It avails you to see what you weren't willing to see, which is the place truth resides. To embody that truth is to live beyond the limits of self-reinforcing habits which take the narrative of the past and project it onto the future, obscure the present, leaving us to sleepwalk in the dreamscape of other people's desires and determinations. It is to transcend the borders erected by pain, fear, and apathy to discover new territory, unbounded by the privileges and preferences that trade freedom for familiarity and comfort, but pretend they are one and the same. Even our great social currency of language is anemic when it comes to expressions of love. Sanskrit, the language of Dharmic religions, has 96 words for love. That would be a big t-shirt. Persian, 80. It's often been shared that Greek, from which we borrow, has 6 words that can help us make distinctions: agape, eros, ludus, philautia, philia, pragma, but most of us, that includes me, can't recall them, much less have an active understanding and practice. The politics of respectability and the hidden rules of politeness that silently govern white belonging to proper society demand that love remain personal. The further love is from some norm, the more behind closed doors in the closet, relegated to corners of guilt, laden with shame it must be. The result of having privatized love is we aren't comfortable with its raw, unabashed, unapologetic, unmitigated expression. Love for one another, especially across lines of difference, has been taboo for the overwhelming part of our national lives. The answer to my inquiry about the apparent lack of love manifesting on behalf of justice seems clear. People don't know how to apply love in the great sphere of society. Let us be those who learn how. This morning and every time we gather for worship. By this we will be blessed.
The chalice connects us to our fellow congregations while reminding us of those who lit the chalice before us and giving us hope of those who will follow us. Please rise in body, voice, or spirit for hymn number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are, hymn 188. This morning I share with you a portion of a very prophetic, brave, and tender letter written to all Unitarian Universalists by two of our religious professionals, two professionals who come from the Muslim faith, Ranwa Hamami and Sana Saeed. Earlier this spring, they gave us this open letter and asked us to listen with our hearts open. Now, we can say consciously that we're going to listen with our hearts open. Yet, neuroscience is neuroscience, and it teaches us that some reactions are so immediate that we don't even realize they're happening. And defensiveness, fight or flight, is one of those. So if you feel yourself tightening up a bit, maybe clenching, possibly shaking your head like no, remind yourself that it took extreme courage and that they wrote us this letter because they love us and they love our faith. About us, without us. A call to our Unitarian Universalist siblings from Muslim Unitarian Universalists. The openness of Unitarian Universalism and its theologies is incredibly healing and welcoming. However, this spaciousness of what is considered the sources of our living tradition can also be deeply harmful if not engaged with intention, accountability, and perhaps most of all, humility. Without these three spiritual orientations, Unitarian Universalists' approach to our sources can and do recreate the colonization and appropriation of cultures embodied by white supremacy. As Muslim Unitarian Universalists, we have observed the ways in which our sibling Unitarian Universalists have misappropriated and harmed the faith of our communities, families, and ancestors. We write this statement today to both name this reality in greater depth and to make asks out of love for our faith and our Unitarian Universalist community. We know it is often with the best of intentions, but it must be acknowledged and addressed. Unitarian Universalists have been culturally misappropriating and exotifying the Islamic traditions in many ways for many years. They go on, and one of the examples that they give us is hymn number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. This is what they say. If you have selected readings from Rumi, Hafiz, or any other Sufi mystics without informing yourself and others of their Muslim origins and beliefs, you have culturally misappropriated from or exotified the Islamic traditions. One common instance is the UU hymn, Come, Come, Whoever You Are, which uses words from a poem by Rumi, but fails to include the theologically essential words, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times. Though you've broken your vows 1,000 times. These omitted words highlight the merciful nature of Allah, central to Islamic theologies, and the acknowledgement that it is human nature to make mistakes, including ones that cause harm. They go on to conclude that their statement is not about intention. At this stage in our conversations and self-assessment of the insidiousness of white supremacy culture within Unitarian Universalist culture, we should not have to clarify that this statement is not about intention. It is about the impact of intentions. We write this statement to call on Unitarian Universalists to engage in accountable, intentional, and humble solidarity with Muslims, including Muslim Unitarian Universalists. We write this statement to call on Unitarian Universalists to stop acting for us and start acting with us. Include Muslims and Muslim Unitarian Universalists in our conversations about solidarity, relationship, and the Islamic traditions as one of Unitarian Universalism's sources. Include us in this faith, not just our trauma, our poetry, or our holy texts. So now we're going to try to practice this together in just a small way. We are going to sing number 188 again with this additional line. And Christe is gonna lead us through.
From you, I have broken my vows 1,000 times. I've broken my vows 1,000 times. I have broken my vows. Low voices, continue that. High voices, go with Carrie. Broken my vows 1,000 times. Broken my vows 1,000 times. Though I've broken my vows 1,000 times. Though I've broken my caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving, rises the caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Thank you. Be seated. I join you this morning and share words from the Rabbi Reuben Zellman, who has written Jewish prayers and Jewish rituals for the LGBT community in San Francisco. As a member of that community, I find many of these words very inspiring as it centers my way of coming into this faith and my way of being present in the moment, seeing myself here. So you take a moment to center yourself. As the colors of the day turn, this morning we offer a blessing for the twilight. For twilight is neither day or night, but in between. We are all twilight people. We can never be fully labeled or defined. We are many identities and loves, many genders and none. We are in between roles at the intersection of histories or between place and place. We are crisscross paths of memory and destination. Streaks of light swirled together. We are neither day nor night. We are both, either and all. Whenever we encounter the sacred in-between of evening, may we be reminded to suspend our certainties, soften our judgments, and widen our visions. May in this in-between light illuminate our way to God who transcends all categories and definitions. May the in-between people who are among us be lifted up into this twilight. We cannot always be defined. We can always say a blessing. You are blessed, God of all names, many names, and of no name at all, who brings on the twilight. Please join us in hymn 402. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Radical inclusion. As a former member of a group called UU Class Conversations, I have frequently asked groups of Unitarian Universalists to envision a living tradition that does not exist right now. A living tradition where we are no longer able to separate the we from the them from the we. And so what I want to do is share with you that imagining time. And my hope is that through a few minutes of really dreaming together, we are able to take this into the work that we do this afternoon. We're going to need to imagine things that we haven't seen before. We're also going to have to imagine what might happen if some of our fears come true. Because no matter how much we love our 7 principles and believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every human being, we are still human ourselves. We have fears, some of them rational, some of them irrational. And it's only if we are able to see our fears that we can move past them, so that we can create together a Unitarian Universalism that is so much bigger than any of our congregations. that is so much bigger than who we are even now. So I want you to settle in. You look comfy already, but just in case you need to adjust a little bit more, settle into your seat and take some deep breaths with me. Breathe in and let it out. Feel the breath of life come into you, through you, and release it again. Let's do one more at our own pace. So imagine that you are not a Unitarian Universalist. You are a guest, a visitor, walking or running or rolling into a UU congregation for the first time. What are the things that you would look for to tell you that this is your spiritual home? What are the sounds, smells, pictures on the wall that tell you you are in the right place? The brain is an interesting thing. If you think about it enough in detail, the smells, the sounds, your brain thinks that it's having the experience right now. So give in to whatever your mind is suggesting. And imagine these words coming from the minister at the beginning of the service. Breathe in this day, this space, this community. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your life journey, you are welcome here. Whomever you love, wherever you were born, whatever language you speak, you are welcome here. Whatever your skin color, whatever your class background, whatever your range of abilities, you are welcome here. Whatever your age, whatever your gender expression, whoever you voted for, you are welcome here. We are so glad that you chose our congregation as your place of worship this morning. Notice how your body feels. Is there a lightness in your chest? Or do you feel parts of your body tightening? We don't have to judge it, we just need to pay attention. So now let's think about what we would envision Unitarian Universal